guys, it's me, Miss Norris, and welcome to We Steam on Wednesdays Wednesday, where every Wednesday in the month of October I will be sharing a STEAM-related read aloud with you. STEAM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Math, and so many great things have come from the fields of STEAM. Today I will be sharing with you the story Aaron Slater, Illustrator. Aaron Slater, Illustrator was written in 2021 by Andrea Beaty, and it was illustrated by David Roberts, and it tells a story of Aaron Slater, who is loosely based on the actual muralist and artist Aaron Douglas. If you're ready to hear the story, I'm ready to share it with you. Here we go. Aaron Slater, Illustrator. Aaron Slater, Illustrator. At the end of the garden, in the soft fading light, when the day turns to dusk and the dusk into night, the sweet scent of jasmine floats into the air to mix with the music of laughter, and there, Aaron D. Slater soaks it all in with his flowery blanket tucked under his chin. Words drift like music, melodious, mild, a sweet summer song for a sweet summer child who drifts off to sleep as the cottonwoods sway at the end of the garden, at the end of the day. So you can see there's music that's being played, and from the time he was born, Aaron enjoyed music and making pictures with the image out of the words that he heard. It's summer, then summer, and summer once more, and soon Aaron D. is a youngster of 4. The jasmine climbs higher, the roses have grown, and Aaron himself has a spot of his own. For seedlings and saplings beside the slate walk, which he illustrates daily with a bucket of chalk. So, starting even at the age of 4, Aaron is enjoying the plants all around him and is drawing pictures of them on the sidewalk with his big bucket of chalk. How many of you have drawn things with chalk on the sidewalk? I know I have. It's a lot of fun. But what he loves most, what makes Aaron's heart sing, is to listen to books in the old garden swing. To write stories, he thinks, is the greatest of things. So he loves to sit on the back porch swing and listen to stories and make pictures in his mind of what he's hearing. But first, he must read. It's the best place to start, and young Aaron wants to read with all his heart. But the words are just squiggles, and try though he might, even with help, Aaron can't quite get it right. Why can't I do it? Why is it so hard? He goes back to drawing on a slate in his yard. So he really wants to learn how to read, but the words come out all jumbled and wrong and backwards, and it's difficult. So he goes back to drawing. It's school time at last. In his sunflower socks and poppy red jacket with matching lunchbox, he marches to class with a teacher's bouquet, ready to read by the end of the day. Now, is reading automatic? We know that it's not, but Aaron wants to learn to read so badly, and he thinks he's going to learn today on his very first day. But he doesn't that day, or that month, or that year. And though he makes progress, it's painfully clear He'll never quite get it like all of his friends. Since he'll never stand out, he decides to blend in. So he's trying, but it's very frustrating. And now it's starting to make him a little angry. And so instead of he's going to keep on trying, but he really just pretends. And so here he is at the start of grade 2, in his simple white t-shirt and matching white shoes. He tries to keep up, to blend in, and to hide the tangle of feelings he carries inside. Now, is there anybody who thought they should be able to do something and you pretended that you could, and you're worried that someone's going to find out that you might not be able to do it like the others can? Well, that's Aaron, and he doesn't want to stand out anymore. He just wants to blend in. But it looks like he still is enjoying drawing. At first, it goes well, since his teacher is new and a bit overwhelmed by the hullabaloo. But things settle down and Miss Greer finds her stride, and once she gets rolling, there's no place to hide. "Class," she says, "here's an assignment for you. Write me a story. Write something true." So his teacher is new and is trying to get everything sorted out, and she doesn't immediately notice that Aaron is having a hard time reading, and she asks everyone to write her a true story. And so Aaron does what young Aaron must do. He works on his story like the rest of grade 2. He writes through the evening, he writes through the night. He writes and he writes till the dawn's early light. Then he drags off to school with his shoes filled with lead, and his stomach in knots and a pain in his head. And he waits for his turn with his heart filled with dread. So he goes home and he works on his story all night long and doesn't get much sleep. And the next day, he doesn't feel better. Miss Greer calls his name, and Aaron D. stands and unfolds the sheet in his trembling hands. And he reads. Well, he tries, but it's so hard to start with 33 eyes peering into his heart. So he's ready to go, and everyone's looking at him. And he's finding it really hard to start reading his story and to start reading at all. So he stares at his shoes and his sunflower socks. Then he closes his eyes, and then young Aaron talks. Once there was a flower. No, wait, I know. Once there was a magical flower, which gave all who held it extraordinary power. So he's off to a slow start, but then he starts reading his story about his magical flower that gives powers. And so begins the most perfect of tales, an imperfect hero whose courage fails. When the day turns to dusk and the dusk into night, and the moon rises high and the dragons take flight, and who learns after all in the wee morning hours, strength comes from the heart and not magical flowers, that beauty and kindness are loving and art lend courage to all with a welcoming heart. So he says that sometimes even heroes fail, but they learn, and use their hearts to have courage and a welcoming heart. But look at these illustrations. Oh. We can see his whole class is writing on colored pencils, and his teacher's on the dragon. And Aaron has wings. That's pretty magical. And when the quest ends and the sweet flower dies, the students all gasp, and Miss Lila Greer cries. The silence that follows rattles his heart. He tries to say something, but where could he start? He turns in a paper with no words at all, then blinks back a tear and escapes to the hall, where Miss Lila finds him by the slate-colored wall. So in the end, he tells a wonderful story, but there's no words on the page. And he leaves in tears, but his teacher is coming to find him. Time stops for them both, the teacher and boy. His heart fills with anguish. And hers? Hers fills with joy at the soul of this artist, courageous and true. She smiles and whispers, "Aaron, thank you." So his teacher comes out and he feels scared and anguish, but his teacher says, "Thank you." I wonder why. Why do you think she's thanking him? For his story, maybe? We'll find out. When she leaves, Aaron stands there a very long while. Then slowly, so slowly, he begins to smile. And he feels like he does with those books in the swing, as a new hope inside starts to make his heart sing. He knows he can do the greatest of things in a way that's his own, in a way that's just his. He can stand out and show the world who he is. Like the mightiest flames that banish the dark, hope grows in the soul from the tiniest spark. His art makes the difference. His art leads the way and helps him discover what he wants to say. So he learns that art can come from your heart, and it can say a whole lot. As his reading gets better, of course, it's still tough, but each day that they work is a little less rough. Like all imperfect heroes at the start of a quest, he must do what he can and hope for the best. So he's practicing his reading with his teacher every single day, and his friends and other grown-ups and other friends, and he's getting better, and it's not as hard as it used to be, but it's still hard. Now, in the hallway, a new garden grows, with jasmine and poppies, a rambling rose. Books, art, and music, a dragon or two who soar through a sky of delphinium blue. The art tells a story, melodious, mild, furious, fragrant, wonderful, wild. It's all from the heart, and all of it's true. For Aaron, Miss Greer, and the kids of grade 2. It's a place full of beauty for one and for all. The Illustrator's Garden at the end of the hall. The end. It looks as though Miss Greer let Aaron illustrate the hallway with a beautiful garden. And that's the end of this story. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed the story, Aaron Slater, Illustrator, please hit that thumbs up button at the bottom of the page. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot to me. If you're not a subscriber yet, please hit that subscribe button down at the bottom of the page. And don't forget to click the bell so that you're notified when there's new content. I hope you'll all join me for We Steam on Wednesdays throughout the month of October. And I hope to see you all again real soon. Bye-bye.